The story resumed in the unforgiving cold of the Bortigarian tundra, where the party tumbled out of a collapsing weft, surrounded by endless snow and freezing winds. They were alone, lost, and struggling to survive in the desolate wasteland. Hope seemed distant, until they spotted a train approaching through the haze, loaded with supplies, food, and slaves bound for a Torum mining camp. They leapt aboard, seized control of the train, and barely managed to savor their victory before a devastating explosion ripped through the cars. Mushi was caught in the blast, and as the smoke cleared, he was nowhere to be found. Amid the wreckage, a shard of the Nightweaver had impaled itself into Yip's chest, a grim reminder that dark forces surrounded them. As the dust settled, a group arrived from the nearby camp, led by none other than Grex Sindel, an exiled Torum politician who had opposed the war and Crowley's rise to power. Grex's mission was a noble one. He sought to protect the slaves from becoming gear-forged, showing them the dignity they deserved. Recognizing the party's strength, he entrusted them with a dangerous task: to enter a buried dwarven citadel beneath the mines, rumored to contain a powerful artifact. As Yip battled the Nightweaver shard embedded in his chest, it lashed out in his sleep, damaging his cherished Ring of Tempest. Summoning his will, he removed the shard and pressed forward, joining the others as they descended into the dark, plagued halls of Citadel Hradbur, where time itself was twisted. Within these haunted halls, the party met Jesham, a rogue dragonborn, and Callus Kels, an archaeologist in search of the same artifact. As they navigated the time-looped ruins, they relived the tragic fall of the Citadel to the Darakul Plague, forced to repeat the same 8 hours again and again. Months passed within the loop, but finally, they managed to break free, restoring the Citadel's power, a machine capable of both flight and teleportation. But 6 months had passed outside as well. Returning to the mining camp, they found Grex's followers removed, the slaves converted into gear forged, and Grex himself bound and tortured. Rescuing him, the party decided it was time to gather allies and struck out for Undakan, where they hoped the Order of the Forge could provide aid against Torum's growing menace. Arriving in Undakan, they sought out Bergrin Thorikson, leader of the Order of the Forge, only to learn he had ventured into the Darakul-infested Deep Roads, chasing a long-lost Duranite refinery. With no other choice, the party delved into the cursed depths, where old secrets came to haunt Yip. Yip's visions of the domains, Tempest and Light, revealed a cruel twist of fate. Deep in the Deep Roads, Light sent a champion to strike him down, his old friend Thundin, now twisted and shackled by Light's control. In a heart-wrenching clash, Yip destroyed the last remnant of his former friend, freeing him from Light's grasp. But Light himself descended to finish what Thundin could not. Just as all seemed lost, Jesham wielded the Nightweaver and struck Light. The god shrieked and vanished, exposing a weakness they had never dared hope for, a weapon that could wound the divine. Arriving at the refinery, they found Fey forces clashing with Torum's soldiers. Bergrin had been taken over by Boppy, an old Torum ally who sought to establish a permanent portal for Torum. Battling their way through, the party encountered a familiar face, the Vulture King, and ultimately prevailed. But the refinery became a brutal battleground. As they fought their way up, Atya was separated, forced into a final showdown with her old friend Mora, who tried to either turn her or kill her. During the chaos, Boppy struck down Bergrin, their potential ally lost to Torum's corruption. Atya, meanwhile, managed to defeat Mora, severing the last link to her former friend. With their foes finally vanquished, the party returned to Undakan, weary yet determined. Back in Undakan, their journey took a dark turn as they pursued Akishigal, the Lore Keeper, and a loathsome cockroach demon. Penetrating his lair, they found a prisoner, a Gear-Forged named Wallace, who revealed himself as one of the co-founders of the Gear-Forged race. With Wallace's help, they drove Akishigal back, but failed to capture him, leaving the vile creature free to continue his schemes. Returning to their headquarters, the party found an unexpected and chilling visitor waiting for them. Cromric Tathgin and none other than Grand Magister Crowley had arrived. Crowley's warning was as clear as it was deadly: cease their interference or face obliteration. In a horrifying display of power, Crowley disintegrated Callus Kels before their eyes, leaving only a dark stain on the floor as a brutal reminder. With Undakan growing ever more dangerous, the party followed Wallace's lead to the Forest of Spores, where he believed he could uncover the secret of the Gear-Forged's control. There, hidden beneath the fungal canopy, they found Wallace's old laboratory from before he was transformed. Yet, Torum had already ransacked the lab, and the trail led directly to Wallace's former partner, Torm Garager. In a desperate bid to stop Torum from seizing more power, the party infiltrated the citadel, hovering above the laboratory and the Forest of Spores. But it was a trap. Fighting inch by bloody inch, they realized that bringing down this fortress might be their only chance. With grim resolve, they planted dynamite charges on the main power generator, hoping to cripple Torum's war machine. In the final moments, the charges detonated, consuming the generator in a fiery inferno. Cheeks, Kryn, and Yip were caught in the blast, their fates left uncertain amid the searing flames and shrapnel. As the citadel began to crumble, Atya and Wallace made their escape, though Atya now stood as the last of the original party. Arc 3 ended in devastation and sacrifice. Torum's might loomed larger than ever, and the party lay in pieces. But amidst the ashes, a glimmer of hope remained, a weapon that could harm a god, a fragment of lost knowledge, and one surviving hero ready to continue the fight.